Hello again and welcome to another Warhammer 40k Imperial Guard Tactics video. Before we get started, I want to say a super huge thank you to Tyler James Norwood for sending in these really cool pictures of his Armageddon Steel Legion. There's some really cool Forge World, sort of big old Forge World transport in there. I'm not actually sure what that is, to be honest. And there's super heavy that you can see in the background as well. Love the paint scheme. It's sort of a adaptation of the classic Steel Legion colour scheme. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. If anyone has any pictures they want to send in to me, please post on my Facebook page. There will be a link down in the description below. And yeah, if you've got any cool pictures, then send them in to me, because I do love using your guys' pictures, because I just like showing off the hard work that you guys have been doing on your armies and on your models. So, without further ado, it's kind of a Steel Legion sort of topic, which is Stormbolter or Heavy Stubber. Which one is the better choice? Is there a better choice? Now, I personally tend to find myself, well, I prefer the Heavy Stubber. But I do also think that Stormbolter has a place. For me, I think the Heavy Stubber is superior just because it has that longer range. Now, a lot of people will argue that you get 4 shots from the Stormbolter. Maybe we should cover what the 2 different weapon profiles are. So, Stormbolter is 2 points, and it is rapid fire 2, 24-inch range, strength 4, AP nothing. And the Heavy Stubber is 4 points, so it is twice the points, but it has a 36-inch range, but it's strength 4, heavy 3, AP nothing. So basically, if we're just comparing a Stormbolter versus a Heavy Stubber, the Heavy Stubber has 33%. It's got 12-inch range more than the Stormbolter. And what I tend to find is, what I've noticed is, a lot of people would argue, but you can get 4 shots from the Stormbolter. But what I honestly tend to find is, I'm not really in Stormbolter range most of the time with my vehicles. I mean, the kind of vehicles that we're talking about here are like Chimeras and Lehman Russes. Really, they're the ones that you're most likely to put it on. And for me, I always tend to find these units providing fire support. And I don't really want to be getting super close to the enemy if I don't have to. I like to push up and be aggressive, but I tend to be, staying nice and comfortably far away from the enemy with my Daka Chimeras or my Lehman Russes, because I don't want to get too close to them. I don't want them to risk getting tied up. So I tend to find I love using my Heavy Stubbers alongside my Heavy Bolters, because my Heavy Bolters have got a 36-inch range, and so does my Heavy Stubber. So those two, that's why I find that the Heavy Stubber synergizes well with my Chimeras, because they're all 36-inch range. And it goes well on my Lehman Russes, because they're generally staying still. And the Heavy Bolters or the Plasma, they've all got 36-inch range. So the Heavy Stubber fits in well there as well. Now, the big disadvantage of the Heavy Stubber is it is a heavy weapon. Which means if you move with it, it's -1 to hit. No ifs, ands or buts about it. Now, the Stormbolter doesn't have that issue, because it's an assault weapon. You're always hitting on your 4s. There's no minuses to hit with the Stormbolter. Now, there are a couple of ways around this. If you take Talon, then you ignore moving and the penalties for moving and shooting with heavy weapons. But then again, your fire support units aren't really going to be moving too much anyway after turn 1 or 2. So bear that in mind. So that's the reasons why I prefer the Heavy Stubber. It's got longer range firepower. It's the units you're going to be putting it on are going to be your support units. Now the Storm Bolter does have a really important use. I find, weirdly, it's actually quite good on units like Hellhounds. Because Hellhounds are always going to be moving all over the place, and they're going to be getting close to the enemy. Because Hellhounds want to be getting in within 8-inch range, because you want to be putting the hull heavy flame on your Hellhound. So Hellhounds want to get really close. If they're going to get within 8-inch range, then having 4 extra shots on the Storm Bolter makes a big difference. I find Storm Bolters on Torx Primes to be really good as well. Because again, Torx Primes want to be getting within half range. They've got so that they can get the extra shots off of the Stormtrooper Doctrine. So Storm Bolters there. If you find yourself being quite an aggressive player, then you want to be using the Storm Bolter, because you'll be getting within in that rapid fire range. But like I said, personally, I tend to find most of the time with vehicles playing a fire support role, and in that case, the Heavy Stubber is superior. And it really is. That's why I prefer the Heavy Stubber, but it really does come down to, are you going to be pushing up, being aggressive, getting within the 12-inch range? If so, you want your Storm Bolter. If you are going to be having a fire support role, then you want to be taking your Heavy Stubbers. So guys, hope that answers that question. If you guys disagree with me, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, there is one massive flaw in my argument, which is you can take 2 Storm Bolters for every Heavy Stubber. Heavy Stubbers are 4 points, Storm Bolters are 2 points. Bear that in mind. But remember, you can only put 1 on each vehicle anyway, so you have to kind of pick. So if you're putting a Storm Bolter on every single vehicle, or you're putting a Heavy Stubber on every single vehicle, then that argument doesn't really hold up. Fair enough? So, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please tell me what you guys think on the whole Storm Bolter Heavy Stubber debate, and I'll see you guys next time.